Hello class, it is I, Professor GonGoon here, with another lesson. Today's lesson is going to be on decision making, how to improve your ability to make decisions, obviously. This will be a series where I analyze random or viewer requested scenarios and discuss the possible outcomes. There are a few things you need to keep in mind when making decisions. First, you need to gather all of the information that you currently have. And then you need to weigh the risk versus the reward of your options. If the option is high risk and low reward, then it's usually not worth it. So we're just going to take a look at this clip here, and I'll give you guys an example of what I mean. So I'm in a pretty bad position right here, because not only am I overextended against Evelyn, but I'm about to fight Tryndamere inside of his creep wave. And even though I might win this trade, if I were just a little more patient and waited for my creep wave to appear, I would have won the trade even harder. But anyways, Evelyn comes as I'm counter-striking, and I'm able to leap to her for a free escape. However, I do lose a lot of health in the process. So I'm faced with two options here. I can either stay and try to kill these creeps, or I can just take my loss and recall. As I mentioned earlier, the first step is to gather all of the information that you currently have. I know that Tryndamere is full of health, and has his ultimate while I'm low on health and mana. I also know that Evelyn is still near top, and could be swinging around to dive me. From the information alone, we can conclude that staying under the tower is a poor choice. There is some outplay potential with Counter-Strike and Flash, but the chances of me outplaying the dive are too low. Next, we need to weigh the risk versus the reward of staying. If I stay, at most, I'll only be able to get the gold from the melee creeps. If I go for the range creeps, Tryndamere will get free damage on me, and I'm already low on health. However, I would get experience for the whole creep wave, which is pretty important in the early levels. As for the risk, from the information I gathered, I know that Tryndamere is capable of diving me. It's just a matter of whether he wants to do it or not. And I know that Evelyn is still around. If she does decide to dive me alone on Tryndamere, there is absolutely no outplay potential. Therefore, I have to consider, do I want to take the extremely high risk of staying in order to get the golden experience from a few creeps? Keep in mind that both Tryndamere and Evelyn are champions that snowball well and are capable of carrying the game by themselves. Do I take the chance of giving them a head start in carrying the game for the potential of 100 gold and some experience? Regardless of the conclusion that you come to, it's usually best to pick one decision and stick with it. Even if midway you determine it's not the best option, sticking with it is better than changing. In the previous scenario, if I had started recalling, stopped the recall, and then recalled again, I would have either been super late to lane, or I may have had my recall cancelled. I firmly believe that thinking while you play is the best way to improve. And hopefully, this series makes you think more about the options provided in-game. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe so you know when I upload new content. Also, shout out to the YouTubers Reaper Fool and Taiga Isaka for the series idea. If you guys have any content or clips that you want me to cover, either comment below with it or email me. I'll place my email address in the description below. For your homework, you are to apply these tactics to 3 different scenarios every day. Whether they be from scenarios from your games or from streams you're watching. Where the scenarios come from doesn't matter. Practice makes perfect, so make sure you practice. Class dismissed.